The dark clouds of the sky reflected Amanda Harper's state of mind on that rainy evening. She walked through the streets of the gray city, swaying under a heavy umbrella. Water ran through her hair like tears, and every step felt like a heavy burden. Today had taken her last pillar out from under the support that kept her life afloat. Amanda slowly opened the door of her dwelling, but the smell of alcohol and smoke greeted her already at the threshold. Her mother, Nancy, in her old robe, was laughing along with her loud friends. Little brother, Tyler, sat in the corner cradling his tattered toy. "Mom, what's going on here?" Amanda asked, her voice drowning in indifference. "Oh, honey, don't whine. We're just having fun," muttered Nancy, averting her gaze from the stacks of empty bottles. "Amanda, did you get fired?" Tyler interrupted her with a startled look. "Yeah, baby, but don't worry. I'll figure something out," said Amanda, trying to smile. "You'll have to figure something out fast. We need to eat," Tyler added, pointing to the empty refrigerator. "I have a couple ideas," she whispered under her breath as she left the room. In the rain, Amanda headed to the nearest supermarket. On a street corner, she met a tall, mysterious man. "You don't look happy," he said, looking into her eyes as if reading her soul. "And have you come to cheer me up?" she replied ironically. "Maybe," he said, grinning. "Call me Max. I can help." "How do you know I need help?" "I just like to help those who are in a difficult situation," he said, and offered his umbrella to protect her from the rain. "You're kind of weird," she said, but took the umbrella anyway. Their eyes met, and in that moment, as if a black shadow had receded, Amanda felt a hint of light in this grim reality. Amanda opened the door to her house and was greeted by a hurricane of alcoholic odor and a roar of loud laughter. Nancy, her mother, was laughing in a drunken rapture, in the arms of two men, and music rattled through the room, reminding Amanda that home was not a cozy place, but rather an arena where pictures of chaos were perpetually being played. "Amanda, come join us. We're having fun here," Nancy shouted, struggling to keep her balance. "Mom, what the hell is going on here? I lost my job today," exclaimed Amanda, fighting off her mother's attempts to pull her into the whirlwind of the festivities. "Oh, don't worry about it, baby. We'll always have a fun time," Nancy replied, pouring herself another glass. Little Tyler, his eyes full of concern, walked over to Amanda. "I'm hungry, sister," he said in a whisper. Amanda stroked his head. "Come on, I'll cook something," she said, looking around the chaos in the room. She headed toward the kitchen, and as she was pulling the last remnants of food out of the refrigerator, Matt, one of Nancy's friends, came up to her. "Did you quit your job?" he inquired with a smirk. "I got fired," Amanda replied briefly, ignoring him. "Then come on here with us. Forget this nonsense," Matt said, trying to put his arm around her. "Let me go," Amanda said, pushing him away. "I need to take care of my brother." At that moment, the rumbling in the place grew even more intense, and she realized that despite all her life in this house, she was a stranger here. Just like her brother, a glimmer of determination flickered in her eyes. She was determined to change her life. Dark clouds continued to pour down rain as Amanda left her house, closing the door behind her, filled with drunken laughter and inarticulate voices. Her steps were tired but determined. She was on her way to the local supermarket. On a street corner, where the rain pounded the umbrellas and sidewalks, she met a tall man with a puzzled look in his eyes. His rain-soaked black hair emphasized the contours of his face. "You're here again, Amanda," he said, his voice sounding deep and mysterious. "Are you following me?" she asked, feeling the damp hair pecking at her face. "Not really. I just like walking in the rain," he replied, looking at the raindrops as if they were touching his soul. "You're somehow strangely always there for me when I'm having a hard time," Amanda remarked. "Maybe I just know what you need," he said, holding out his umbrella to her. "You seem to know more than you should," she remarked, taking the umbrella. "Max. Call me Max," He introduced himself. Okay, Max. But you haven't explained why you're always around, Amanda said. Probably because the world is full of mysteries and you're like a riddle I want to solve, smiled Max, his eyes sparkling with mystery. You lift my spirits. Thanks, Amanda said, walking off in the direction of the supermarket. Always happy to help, Max whispered, looking after her as if he knew his presence was bringing some light into her darkness. As the days went by, Amanda began to notice that Max appeared in the most unexpected places: the street corner, the little cafe where she ate lunch. He was like an invisible observer, a mysterious shadow watching her every move. You're everywhere, Max. At work, on the street, everywhere, Amanda told her, with surprise in her voice when he met her in one of the cozy cafes. I can't resist a delicious coffee. Can you? Max replied with a slight smile. It's not just coffee, is it? She mumbled, looking into his dark eyes. Maybe I found something more interesting than coffee, he said, and his smile became even more enigmatic. Despite Max's outward hardness, there was a flicker of concern in his eyes. He was like a guardian, ready to step in at any moment to protect her. One evening, Amanda returned home after a long day at the club. In the rain, she heard footsteps following her. Turning around, she saw Max. You're watching me like a sentinel, she remarked, feeling the wind flutter her damp hair. I can't let you get in trouble, he replied, his voice still as mysterious. You take care of me like I'm something special, Amanda said, her eyes searching for answers. Maybe it's because you're special to me, Max said, and disappeared into the night as if his shadow had dissolved into darkness. Amanda was left standing in the rain, feeling his attention on her like a dark touch that frightened and attracted her at the same time. One evening, after a long night shift at the club, Amanda was called in by the manager. He introduced her to a tall, charismatic man who stood in the shadows. Amanda, meet Max. He represents a new opportunity for you, the manager said, smiling. Hello, Amanda, Max said, his gaze remaining fixed and enigmatic. What are these opportunities? She asked, feeling as if her life was once again taking an unpredictable turn. You're working at a prestigious club from now on, Amanda. The pay is higher, the conditions are better. You'll love it, Max said, as if offering her the key to a new life. It's too good to be true. What do you want in return? Amanda asked cautiously. In return? Just do your job and don't ask too many questions. You deserve better, Max replied, his voice so convincing that the words sounded like a vow. Why do you do so much for me? She asked, feeling his influence begin to creep into her life. Maybe because I like the way you look at the world. You deserve more than this shadow you live in, Max said, and his gaze touched her soul. Max's words sounded like a promise, and Amanda accepted the offer. Over the next few days, her life truly changed, a new job, luxuries she couldn't have imagined before. But with each step along this new path, Max's shadow became more and more visible, and Amanda wondered about the price she might pay for her promising new life. With each day in her new surroundings, Amanda began to settle in. The prestigious club was a world of luxury, glamour, and glittering parties. Her days were filled with secret meetings with clients, the glittering light of porcelain glasses, and the sound of excitement-inducing music. Max was still by her side, watching her, but now his attention was like a captivating dance. He was becoming her partner in this world where luxury and danger intertwined in an unpredictable dance. Are you getting used to it? Max asked, meeting her after one of the performances. It's like I'm in another world. It seems beautiful, but there's so much mystery, Amanda replied, her gaze sliding over the atmosphere of the club. Everything in this world is a mystery, Amanda. Sometimes you have to accept its rules to survive, Max said, as if hinting at the darker sides of this new reality. Parties became her daily reality, and every time she danced in the dazzling lights of the evening light, she felt the whirlwind of the unknown sweep her up. Max was her constant companion, but his secret influence was becoming more and more apparent. Max, why are you always here? Do you know something I don't? Amanda asked him one day when they were in the back of the club, under the haze of night. In this world, you need to know your allies as well as those who might become enemies, he said, his eyes sparkling like stars in the night sky. Are you an enemy or an ally? Amanda asked, feeling her heart beat harder. Let time decide, Max replied, and in that moment, her heart began a dance with the unknown, where the steps of each next stepped into an unpredictable future. In the world of luxury and secrets of a prestigious club, Amanda was becoming a party queen. She danced, mesmerizing the audience. And in this whirlwind of light and music, she almost forgot about her troubled past. Max was there, in the shadows, as her invisible companion. One night, after the show was over, Amanda noticed Max approaching her in a secluded corner of the club. You melt into the crowd, Max. Why are you always in the shadows? She asked, trying to read his face. You can learn more in the shadows than in the light from time to time, he answered cryptically. What do you know about my past that I don't? Amanda insisted. More than you'd like to admit, Max said, his voice shrill in the silence. I don't understand why you're here. Why are you following me? She asked, her eyes full of questions. Because I want you to have a chance to see the world without the shadows you live in. But be careful, Amanda. In this world the light can sometimes be even darker than the shadows. Max warned her and disappeared into the crowd, leaving her with mixed feelings. The secret meetings with Max had become her private corner where she could wash away the dirt of the past and feel like someone more, every time she met with him. However, a shadow of suspicion grew in her heart, and she began to question herself about what he was hiding in his mysterious soul. In a world of bright lights and high-end parties, Amanda and Max continued their dance backstage. She had become a part of this high life, but the shadow of the past never let her go. The meetings with Max were priceless moments where she felt alive and free. Amanda, do you want to know more? Max asked one day, leading her to a secluded corner of the club. Yes, I want to know, Max. Every day I have more questions, she replied, her eyes searching for the truth in his eyes. Are you ready for the truth? Max asked, his hand resting on her shoulder. I'm ready, Amanda said, feeling fear and curiosity intertwined in her soul. You're part of something bigger in this moment, Amanda. But love is like a dance. Sometimes you lead, sometimes you follow, sometimes it's a whirlwind of passion and sometimes it's a quiet waltz. Are you ready to follow me? Max asked, his gaze speaking of something deep. To follow you? But where to? Amanda asked, feeling his words become a clue to her own destiny. To a place where we will create our own world together, where the shadow of the past will no longer haunt us, Max replied, his hand touching her face as if erasing the traces of adversity. I'm ready, Max, Amanda whispered, and in that moment she felt love like light enter her heart, enveloping her in warm rays. The backstage became their stage and love became their dance in this wonderful world where the past became the past and the future began here and now. In the dance of love, Amanda and Max created their world where every moment was filled with magic. They were overcoming the shadows of the past, finding the light in their met love. One day as they strolled through the evening city, Amanda asked, Max, what do you know about my past that I don't? Max slowed his steps and looked into her eyes. You grew up in hard times, Amanda, but you're stronger than you think. You're not alone. And you've always been there for me, even when I haven't seen you? She asked, feeling the warmth of his hand in hers. Yes, always, but now we're together. We've created our own light in this darkness, Max replied. In their love, they found answers to the questions that plagued Amanda. She felt the past melt away like a shadow and a new beginning came. You fell in love with me despite the dark moments of my past? Amanda asked. Precisely because of them. You're strong. You're a fighter. You're my bright star in this dark night, said Max, smiling. Max, I'm glad you came into my life. You give it meaning, Amanda admitted, feeling her heart fill with gratitude. Amanda, we're in this together. Our light is our future, Max said, and their hands clasped together as if joining past and future in a single path.